Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. The United States Supreme Court has struck down President Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs imposed under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, ruling 6-3 that the 1977 law does not grant authority to levy such duties. The opinion, written by Chief Justice John Roberts, upheld a lower court decision and handed a significant setback to the president. However, President Trump moved swiftly to replace tariffs struck down by the Supreme Court with a temporary 10% global import duty for 150 days and ordered new investigations under other laws that could allow him to reimpose the tariffs. Trump signed executive orders to impose new tariffs starting on Tuesday under Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974, partly replacing tariffs of 10% to 50% under the 1977 International Emergency Economic Powers Act that the top court declared illegal, and ending collection of the now banned duties. Moreover, Trump will travel to China from March 31st to April 2nd for a highly anticipated meeting between the leaders of the world's two biggest economies, a trip announced as the Supreme Court overturned Trump's sweeping tariffs on imported goods. A White House official confirmed the trip just before the highest US court dealt Trump a stinging defeat by striking down many of the tariffs he has used in a global trade war, including some against rival China. Iran's foreign minister has said that he expects to have a draft counterproposal ready within days following nuclear talks with the United States this week, while US President Donald Trump said he was considering limited military strikes. Two US officials told Reuters that US military planning on Iran had reached an advanced stage, with options including targeting individuals as part of an attack and even pursuing leadership change in Tehran if ordered by Trump. A US Air Force C-5M Super Galaxy strategic airlifter was seen landing at RAF Mildenhall hours after President Trump's warning to Iran. Tehran responded by threatening retaliation against US bases in the region if attacked. Flight tracking data confirmed the aircraft's arrival. The C-5M is the largest transport aircraft in the US Air Force fleet, capable of carrying heavy military equipment over intercontinental distances. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says the military track in talks with Russia is constructive, but there has been no positive movement on territorial issues. He said Ukraine expects the next round of negotiations to take place later this month. Meanwhile, the Kremlin, through spokesman Dmitry Peskov, said no date or venue had been confirmed, although Russia's state news agency TASS reported the talks could be held in Geneva, with participation from Russia, Ukraine, and the United States. On the other hand, Russian President Vladimir Putin has asked negotiators Vladimir Medinsky and Igor Kostyukov to report on US-mediated peace talks between Russia and Ukraine in Geneva. Europe's five largest defence powers, France, Germany, Italy, Poland and United Kingdom, have agreed to fast-track low-cost air defence systems under a new initiative known as LEAP. Meeting in Krakow, ministers said the project aims to bring autonomous interceptor drones or missiles into production within 12 months. The move follows lessons from the war in Ukraine, where cheaper drone-based systems have proven effective against high-cost missile threats. US envoy Sergio Gore has said that the United States is in active negotiation over the sale of Venezuelan oil to India to help India diversify its sources of crude oil. Gore told reporters on the sidelines of an event in New Delhi that the Department of Energy is speaking to the Ministry of Energy here, and so we're hoping to have some news of that very soon. A final trade deal with India will be signed sooner than later, as a few tweaking points are required, Gore said, adding, Trump has been invited to India by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.